What's going on, YouTube? My name is ginj-tcg, or Chris, and today I'm back with another Rogue EX deck. This one is with everyone's favorite Cobra Pokemon, Arbok EX. With the Menacing Fangs attack, we do 150 damage and discard 2 cards from our opponent's hand. And our opponent gets to choose them, so they can get rid of, like, random cards they might not necessarily need, which could be anything like a Nest Ball, or maybe it's an Energy or stuff like that. But when we're pairing this attacker with a bunch of hand disruption cards, it creates devastating combos, such as Unfair Stamp. If we use it, we put our opponent at 2 cards. After we use our attack, we put them at 0 cards, which means they literally have nothing in their hand. They have to top deck or draw their way out of it, which is a bit hard to do, especially when we are constantly Iono, Judge, and Roxanne spamming them and just trying to put their hand as close to 0 as we can get it every turn. And Arbok EX honestly lacks a little in damage, but it makes up for it in the heavy disruption capabilities. As a partner for the deck, I am running a 1/1 Farigiraf EX line. I think this deck struggles a little bit against Chien-Pao and Raging Bolt just because they have good draw engines and pretty consistent attackers without needing a super big hand because of like Teal Mask Ogerpon and Bibarel that's in Chien-Pao. So I am playing a 1/1 Farigiraf line with 1 Luminous Energy that isn't super hard to draw into because of the amount of like supporters and shuffling and not really searching, but digging we are doing through our own deck. And since it's a dark type Pokemon, we can also use R4 Dark Patch to not only charge up Arbok EX's 3 Dark Energy attack, but we can use it to charge up Farigiraf EX since it is a dark type terrestrialized Pokemon. So it's honestly a nice combo. And we are playing Radiant Greninja as a Radiant because with the Concealed Cards ability, we can put more energy in our discard pile and then get a bunch of Dark Patches off. As a whole, I think this list was pretty consistent. I really liked it a lot when testing it. I think it does well against decks like Ancient Box and Lost Zone, and honestly Pidgeot decks are pretty solid too, since all of those decks either A, don't have a great draw engine if they don't have a massive hand, or B, need to search for 1 card to make their hand useful. All of those decks, if you put them at like 2 or 0 cards, honestly, even like a couple times, you can stop them from doing some pretty devastating things. And since Charizard is a super hard matchup right now because we're not even 2-shotting Charizard, we're only doing 150 damage, I am playing 1 copy of Devolution. Because if we can kind of gust around a couple Charizards by using Counter Catcher and Boss, and then use Devolution as well as our attack in general, if we could get rid of rare candies, we actually would do super well just evolving their board state and telling them to figure it out. And the same kind of goes for Dragapult. I mean, yes, we're not 2-shotting those Pokemon, but we are kind of ruining their board state so much. If we could do that before they get like 2 or 3 Dragapults or 2 Charizards in play, it's actually not super hard to use Devolution and kind of just lock them out of doing everything, since they need to use a lot of rare candies for Pidgeots and their other stage 2s in the deck. So that's kind of how I've been getting around those big evolution decks. We got Farigiraf for the basic EX decks as just a nice little wall, and Arbok for pretty much everything else. I think this deck was a ton of fun to play, and if you're going to a locals anytime soon, and you got some Arbok EX in the bulk binders, I would say pull those out and slap this deck together because it did surprisingly well. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the deck list. There's nothing else super crazy in it. We're playing Pokemon League Headquarters just to try to help us against like those super aggro decks with Ampy very much, like Future Box or even Miraidon if you run into it, just because they can overwhelm you at the start. So if you could get the stadium down early, honestly, you'll do pretty fine. You just want to be careful because we are playing Turbo Energize. So if you're going second, which this deck definitely prefers, you don't want to play the stadium if you plan on Turbo Energizing, because then you won't be able to, because you'll need 2 basic energy, or 2 energy attached period, and not just 1, and that can't really happen in a deck like this. So that's really the only thing to be careful for, but overall, I think that is a really solid stadium for this deck. I guess you could play Temple of Sinnoh, it's just I don't think there's that many decks that really revolve around special energies where Temple of Sinnoh is as useful as a stadium like Pokemon League Headquarters for just like being even more annoying than we could have been by just ruining our opponent's hand. So I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck. It's a pretty straightforward list past that, since it's got Bibarel as a draw engine, and Judge and Iono, which I feel like just kind of go hand in hand, because you could put yourself at 0 cards, or like 1 card off an Iono, and then just draw into 5. So, it works really solid in those types of scenarios. Past that, I hope you guys enjoy the deck. Let's get into 3 games and see how we do it. Come to match number 1, where we did take 2 mulligans, sadly. It's not ideal, especially against a Lost Box deck. There's a good chance we could be getting donked, which is not something I'm trying to deal with. So let's use this Buddy-Buddy Poffin now, and let's make sure we get a bunch of Pokemon in play. We've only got 1 Bibarel in the deck, something to keep in mind, as well as... Nope, we have all 3 Arboks, 1 is in our hand. So that's solid, but Lost Box, I think, is a solid enough matchup for our deck where taking 2 mulligans might not actually be the death of us. So I'm going to attach our energy there, I'm going to end our turn, and I'm going to see what our opponent can do. And there is a legitimate chance we could get an Arbok EX set up next turn. Excuse me, I think what we're missing is what? I mean, we definitely need a Dark Patch and another energy and discard. That way we can get all 3 energy in play. And past that, I mean, it's manageable. It'll definitely be hard, but we can make a very strong comeback against a deck like this because Lost Box folds if you don't let them grow a hand and let them do the things they need to do. Also, we could even take Hand Trimmers next turn and just tell them to cope and figure it out. We'll discard their hand from the start. We do play 2 of those items, which is, I found really convenient because a lot of times the most cards I feel like I'll have in my hand is 5 because of Bibarel. So if I draw into Hand Trimmers after using Bibarel, I don't have to discard any cards because the effect applies to both players. So you could just make it apply to your opponent, which is amazing, especially in a situation like this where they're going to have 11 cards in a hand going into their second turn. But our opponent hasn't seemed to discard anything massive just yet. Honestly, getting rid of Pokestop and Vacuum is pretty big. Those are 2 cards they could use to really just bump their Lost Zone numbers really early. So if they're getting cards like that and a Rod, they have a bombshell of a hand. But I'm holding Judge, so, I'll just tell them to shuffle it into their deck and draw into it again. And they probably will, and that's fine. But again, how often can they draw into an insane hand when we're just ruining it over and over? So, yeah, more or less, that's the entire story of the deck. Nothing else really goes on too crazy in it. I mean, Farigiraf is a good line from what I found. Honestly, I guess if you wanted to take it out and replace it with something, I don't know what would be best. I thought that was just a really fun attacker because although Luminous might be a little annoying to find sometimes, you do have access to Dark Patch. So I thought it was pretty great. And I didn't want to put in a plain, basic Psychic Energy because, even if you could search it with Earthen Vessel, Luminous can be applied to my Arbok as well if I just draw into it. So I thought overall that would be a little bit better. And call me crazy, I think I might just attach to bench and judge and try to figure it out after that. Our opponent isn't doing anything crazy with their hand, but it is massive. And I don't mind if they kill our Ekans first. I'm pretty confident we could get out of this if we need to later. So, let's do that. And, I don't know if they'll necessarily get an insane attacker down, but I don't know if I want to play Pokemon League Headquarters right now. Because I'm scared. Or Greninja. I'll play the Headquarters, but I'm going to hold Greninja. Because I don't know if it'll help me at this point in the game. Because I think what I might want to do next turn is just Arven for Earthen Vessel. And I might want to keep Countercatcher, and I'd actually rather get rid of Greninja if my top deck is, amazing. Just because I really want to attack next turn. If I could start limiting their hand now, that would be awesome. And they're going to switch. They're going to use all of the Comfies they have in play, all 2 of them. And we'll see if they get anything crazy off their flower selectings. But, I think this kind of proved that, even if Lost Box builds a big hand, I mean, let's say they had Cram and they swung into Ekans last turn. Or this turn, we're fine. We're in a totally okay spot. And I have a feeling they're just going to switch into Cram and Rip, which is cool. That's totally fine by me. I'm going to put them at 3 cards. They're going to take 1 from a prize card, but I am attacking this turn with Menacing Fangs. And I'm going to tell our opponents to just figure it out after that. Because I like our matchup against Lost Box a lot right now, and I feel like these single prize dominated decks are in a phenomenal spot in the format at the moment. I just think they do so well against things like Raging Bull, and if it could hit hard enough or be technical enough like a Lost Box deck, they could do well against like Gardevoir and Charizard, which are, I think, 3 decks I'm seeing a whole lot of on the ladder. So Arbok does well into those decks though. So, you know, if you're like me and you're just getting hammered by a lot of Ancient Box, Lost Box, and single prize decks like that, you might as well play Arbok to just get rid of them. And they're going to get Hyper Blower Iron Bundle out, which, if they use that ability, that could be really annoying. I don't totally know what I would give them. I think, honestly, I would give them Arbok. You know, like, if they want to just swing 110 into Arbok, that's fine. They're going to have 1 card in their hand going into next turn, 2 off top deck. Because they wouldn't have taken any KOs, and I would have made them get rid of 2 cards. So, even though my Arbok would be taking damage, that's fine. I'll set up the egg kits that I kept alive if they use Hyper Blower. So, no big deal at all for sure. And they're just going to take the KO. Okay, so they're saving up Iron Bundle. The attack is something we have to watch out for, because we are an evolution Pokemon. Sorry, they took a prize card. Had to take a cut for a second. Yeah, you know, it would prevent us from attacking, but they need 4 energy to do it because of Pokemon League headquarters. So honestly, I'd be fine with that. And I think here we want to go Arven. Do I go Ultra Ball and play it bold but get a bigger hand? I could Ultra Ball. That could be sweet, actually. Or Unfair Stamp. Which is better? I feel like Unfair Stamp is pretty epic. Put him at 2 cards now. And we draw 5 cards. And I feel like there's a decent shot we could get. How many energy are in our deck before I say this? And is our Earthen Vessel in the deck? Okay. No. That's annoying. Maybe I just take the Earthen Vessel. But I don't have it. You know what? Full Sends only. Full Sends only. I was never scared of anything like that before. Why would I be scared of it now? Let's play Greninja down. Just get it out of the deck. Let's play this and get it out of the deck. We'll throw you here. Doesn't matter. Do I counter catcher up Iron Bundle? Honestly? I think I'm going to, because Iron Bundle is the thing I'm most scared of. I'm not scared of Homeboy swinging with Cram a bunch of times. I think I'd rather just KO Iron Bundle. So let's just Unfair Stamp now and tell our opponent to figure it out after we get our energy. That is so massive. I really don't want to use Concealed Cards, as tempting as it is right now, because we can't get that. If we don't draw into an energy, I'm going to be very devastated. So I'm just going to swing with Arbok for 150, and I'm going to put our opponent at 0 cards and put him in just complete and utter top deck mode, and they get rid of Colress and Palpad. Oh my god. Yeah, that hurts. Also, Unfair Stamp is an absolute lie. You're telling me they drew into Colress off Stamp? Yo, give me a break. This is ridiculous. I mean, hey, we'll see. You know, we'll see what they could get off top deck in these flower selectings, and there's a legitimate chance that they don't have a way to retreat or switch Comfy. I mean, they got rid of a Mirage Gate. That's so big. See, that's what I love about this, is like, okay, they got Colress. Naturally, they would draw their way out of it. That's ridiculous. It's all good, though. Next turn, we can 100% Ultra Ball away. I'm going to keep my switches, because they could totally go for some annoying Sableye plays at the end where they just boss up our Bibarel, and we're going to have to cope and figure it out after that. So I'd rather keep... I play 2 switches for that reason, and I'd rather just keep them both. So I might get rid of a Dark Patch and Turbo Energize, depending on what our top deck is. And they get rid of... Is that their 3rd Colress? I think it might be. Okay, so they've only got 1 Colress left, and Palpad's already gone. I don't think they'd play 2. So that could work for us. And they got all 4 Comfies into play. That's insane. Prime Catcher. Good thing we got Switch. Looks like I'm using it right now. Unless I get an Energy top deck, then I'll use that to retreat, because I got Dark Patches, and that could really help us. So why didn't they take... Oh, that's interesting. Actually, I just realized they could have just taken Bidoof and taken an easy KO and limited our draw engine a lot, but they chose to leave us Bidoof. So don't mind if I'll take Bibarel and punish them for using that Prime Catcher and not taking a KO. And they get rid of a boss. Oh my god. I'm loving this. Why do you Pokegear now? Why? Wait. Wait a second. I'm swinging. And homie's gonna die. Oh my god, he's gonna lose his whole hand. Oh, this is insane. Because again, no matter what, I'm attacking this turn, and that boss he took is going into the discard pile, and his other boss is right there. So we're just gonna run this Lost Box deck out of supporters, nice and easy. And all we did was play one unfair stamp so far. Oh, and we played Judge. Those are the only two. Whoa, I just lost a whole bunch of the cards I was shuffling. Whoopsies. Those are the only two disruption cards we got, and we get an energy. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. That's so perfect. Let's concealed cards. I got the switch. There's a good chance I use it this turn. And I'll see what our opponent's got in store for us. And we get a Dark Patch. I don't need 3. Or Turbo Energize. I'm just going to take the Bibarel and make sure we get a Draw Engine in play. I'm going to use Switch now, which I would have liked to keep for another turn, but there was just no way I could have. I'd rather put that energy in discard because I'll get a Pokemon. Yeah, I could totally get a Pokemon now, actually, because we could just play Buddy-Buddy Poffin. And that's all we need. That is all we need. And I could take 2 more Arbok or Ekans into play. Although, honestly, I'm worried about it getting bossed up and just stalled or an easy KO, so maybe I just take the 1. I don't hate just taking the 1. I think we could vibe with 2 Arbok this whole game based on our opponent's board state. And we can start setting up 2 of these guys and just running with it. Because next turn, again, they're in utter top deck mode. And, oh my god, another Mirage Gate. That's insane. And we have Ultra Ball and Dark Patch in our hand. So I'm not worried about us getting going at all from this point. Or finishing out the game with literally just 2 Arbok. I think that's, honestly, pretty easy to do right now. And how many Mirage Gates are they down? I think it's just 2. One's in there and one's in here. Yep. So down 2 Mirage Gate and 2. All their Colress are down. So it's going to be really hard for them to dig hard. Pokestop will help, depending on what they get rid of. That's massive. Yes, they got Mirage Gate. They have no attackers in play unless they want to start using Spinning Attack. And they also got rid of 2 big energy. Electric and Water. Oh my god. That's the 3rd Mirage Gate our opponent has played, and they're either going to use Spinning Attack or try to retreat, neither of which I'm upset about at all. So that is wild. I know, okay, they go for the retreat, and they give us the Comfey with energy, which is really dumb, because if that stays in the active spot, they can't retreat, they just did that. I'm going to KO a Comfey, which actually has an energy attached, putting even more things in discard. So this is what I was talking about when I said, you know, if you get a good play off, even just one play, with Unfair Stamp or Judge, and you force your opponent into one bad turn, you stop all of their momentum going forward, and make it actually, like, insanely difficult to pick back up. Whereas we could just play a little bit slower, do less damage than a normal deck, but laugh while our opponent only watches us play because they don't have much. And they're going to use their 4th Mirage Gate, yeah. Now they're cooked. There's no way they could come back. And we're going to see a Spinning Attack. That is so epic. Yo, big thumbs up to that. Why didn't you use Nest Ball first? Wait, oh. That's a bit annoying. How many energy do you need? 3 energy? Next turn you'll need 2? I'm confident we could deal with that. If we get a Pokemon League headquarters and like boss in play, that thing is cooked. So that's fine. We're going to Ultra Ball these away. I don't want to play Iono at all. Our opponent doesn't need to start playing the game now. They can just sit in top deck mode. I think that is mighty fine for us. And we're going to draw into a setup Arbok, essentially, because we are going to rip concealed cards. We're going to draw a whole bunch, and we're going to play Dark Patch, and manual attach this energy here. We do have 2 more energy and a Luminous in the deck, as well as, how many more Dark Patches? 1 Dark Patch. So, I'll get another Ekans into play. Actually, let me just check how many energy we got. Yeah, I'll get another Ekans into play. That's cool. I'm pretty sure we could set up this 3rd Ekans if we need at any point. And I will totally just swing for KO. I mean, we're not discarding any cards. They're still in top deck mode. Blood Moon Ursaluna needs 2 energy to attack this turn. And they have no Mirage Gates left, I believe. So we're just going to be looking at manual attachments. Because there's, where are they? 3 Mirage Gates there and one's in Lawson already. Yeah. So this guy's going to need to fully set up himself. And he could take a KO on our active. So that's a little annoying, but I think we'll rock. Our opponent is also running dangerously low for cards in their deck. So I'm curious to see how they even plan on getting themselves out of this as well, because we can win. Okay, they get switch cards, but that won't help them too much. If they keep digging with Comfy, they're gonna win by, like, we're gonna win by deck out. We're not even gonna have to take our final 3 KOs, which is, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. That is the power of Arbok and the best sort of hand disruption we could do. But I mean, we'll see. You know, they're thinking deep. How many rods do they have left? I think that's the only other thing at this point we gotta worry about. And they've only played 1. They could have like 2 more. And I feel like it could. Oh, okay, there's 1. I was gonna say it's probably in their hand, but they could take more Pokemon. I'm not super worried about that. I'm not worried about 1 Blood Moon Ursaluna either. If we could switch, it won't KO me. Hyper Blower. Honestly, I'd hope they play Hyper Blower. I'd be like so cool with that. We could give them. We could honestly even give them like our Ekans. Just tell them to figure it out. How many switch are they down? What are the chances Blood Moon Ursaluna gets trapped? So they're down 3 and 2. 3 switch, 2 switch cart. And in Lost Zone, 4 switch, 3 switch cart. I think they only have 1 more switch cart left. Never mind. They have no more switch cards left in the deck. they're down 4 switch, Prime Catcher, and I guess they have Hyper Blower. That's wild. That's actually insane. Oh my gosh, wait, I just realized. There's actually a huge... Not a huge. There's a possibility we might be able to win with Iono by decking our opponent out. Because they'll draw 5. Oh, and they play Iron Thorns. Oh, no. Oh, gosh. What are they doing? They have no switch left. Wait. Wait a second. Why would you do that? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. If we play Iono, they draw 5 cards. Oh, my God. Oh, but they might have 1 more Rod, so I don't really want to do that, because that could just be a wait. I was thinking, like, if I play Iono, they'll draw 5, and then top deck they're 6, because they have to draw for turn, and then we could Iono, you know, we just pass the next turn and we'd be fine. But I think I'm just going to Ultra Ball, and I'm going to get rid of 1 of each of these. And I'm going to take just another Arbok, thin our deck a little bit more, and we'll Bibarel for 3. And to see what we could pull off this, and energy would be nice. That's really the only other thing I'm looking for at this point. And that's totally it. I'm fine with Luminous. Again, it's still dark energy. And how many energy do you need? So if I take a KO here, he'll need 1 energy left to attack. And honestly, that's fine. Because once he attacks with this, it's stuck in the active spot. He's got no more switch left in the deck. And he... I don't even know. I mean, what? He's got a couple energy left, I think. Let's see. They played a Rod. What did they take back? Well, only 1 energy, probably for Sableye. 5... 6, 7. No, actually, from what I know about Lost Box, a decent portion of their deck might still be energy. And there's a Nest Ball down. That doesn't hurt us or help us. I almost like want them to play Hyper Blower. Don't Flower Select again. Don't stop. No. Well, I win next turn. I don't think they're playing Hand Disruption. I'm just going to rip Iono. They're going to draw every single thing in their hand. They're going to draw all the cards in their deck. Unless they take a KO. If they actually get Blood Moon Ursaluna off and KO are active, that play wouldn't work. And they Roxanne us. Wait a second. Wait. No, buddy. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I forgot. Eri's in the deck. Helps out a lot when you're looking for rare candies and stuff like that. Well... that was a good game. I'm curious. I just want to see what was in their hand. Just give me it. What was here? Hyper Blower, Psychic Energy. Yeah, alright, cool. Well, I'll pass. They got no cards left in the deck. Cool for me. I mean, power Arbok, man. Even with the slower start, heavy hand disruption and hand discard, yeah. It's hard to work around. So, awesome game number 1. Let's see if we can guarantee a positive record in game number 2. Welcome to match number 2, where I honestly want our opponent to take a KO on Manaphy, so I'm choosing to lead it because I've got a massive Turbo Energize play for next turn, and we are staring at what has to be a Miraidon deck. I mean, if it's not, I have no idea what it's going to be. Yep, alright, that makes sense. That does make things a little more difficult for us, because Farigiraf is a little harder to get out and play. We don't have any Nest Balls, so it's hard for us to search for the basic without taking Ultra Balls. And surprisingly, Miraidon's the one deck that could be a little annoying for Farigiraf to deal with because of this ability right here, where they actually shut off our Farigiraf's EX's ability. So, could be a little problematic, but nothing I'm not afraid to work around. And that was interesting. I feel like they should have played the generator before they retreated, but word. Hey, that's fine. I mean, if you want to keep that in the active spot, that's not going to be a problem for me. I'm 100% cool with that. So let's play Ekans. Let's get an Arven down. We want Buddy-Buddy Poffin, Turbo Energize, and if homie kills Manaphy, that's okay. I'm going to keep my Luminous Energy, because if I could deal with this Iron Thorns, oh, we're getting the Farigis down this turn for sure. Let me just make sure it's in the deck, actually. Yeah, perfect. Alright, sweet. So, not bad at all. And we got a Bibarel, and how many... Whoa, how many Arbok? 2. Right? Yeah, 2. That's cool. That's cool. Solid for us. I'm actually really, really liking where we're sitting right now. So, we're just going to Turbo Energize. We have the energy to retreat if needed. I'm going to put all these energy onto one Ekans just because I might need to get going next turn. It depends what our opponent does. I think regardless, I'm playing Judge. I'm not attaching the energy. I don't want to. I want to keep that for Farigiraf. I also want to be wary of how many prize cards I put in play. Because, actually, you know what? We've already put in so many. They could win even if we get Farigiraf down just by bossing around stuff. So that's a little annoying, but it's fine. It's fine. We could totally work with it. Also, Pokemon League Headquarters is going to do damage to this deck. Like, it's going to be amazing. So, excuse me. Sorry. I went to McDonald's and picked up a Sprite. I had a craving for McDonald's Sprite. So, I think that I took a cut in, like, the last video, or last game. And I just, yeah. I'm sure you guys get it. The burps come up with those, man. The burps are burning. But I got out of work today, and I'm like, no, yeah, I want one while I'm recording the video. So, that was my bev of choice for the day. And they're going to prime, oh, God. Well, we'll see how good a comeback deck this is. That's for sure. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Alright, well, they're down Prime Catcher. This is going to be a lot harder. For sure, because they got such a big KO where all of our energy were already down. So this is definitely going to be a bit harder for us. Drawing into Dark Patch was the best thing that could have happened, for sure. That helps us a lot. You know what, we can play the Hand Trimmer now. Let's make them get rid of 2 cards. We're fine because we don't have 5 cards in our hand. We don't have to get rid of anything. We're forcing them to get rid of 1, but that's not bad. I think that's okay. And they choose to get rid of Research. They got a pretty good hand. But what's nice is I'm going to judge them as well this turn and hopefully get us going a little bit with that. And I'm going to attach this to Manaphy. Doesn't help us at all at this point. And honestly, I might counter catcher up Iron Thorns again and just try to trap this. If I can start attacking this now and get Farigiraf in play later, that would be so nice. And here I need Dark Patch Energy Arbok EX somehow. And we're potentially close. And I say potentially because we got Bibarel, so there surprisingly is a chance we could attack this turn. I just need Bibarel and oh no, not Bibarel. I need Arbok EX and Dark Patch right now. And we got a big attack this turn. I'm so close. I'm so close. Oh my gosh. No. Alright, well. That hurts, but we will rock with it. Do I Ultra Ball to set up another Pokemon? Yeah, actually, I think I do. I think now is a perfect time to get Girafarig in play. And then next turn, we could potentially get Farigiraf EX. I like this a lot, actually. I like this a whole lot. And all we need to do is take, like, the first attack on Iron Thorns while we get... Oh my god, they just have another switch. Oh, they're going to be down to 2. Gosh, that's so annoying. that's like the worst thing that could have happened. They're going to be going up 4 prize cards against Arbok, but I'm not counting this out yet. I mean, look, they've got how much boss left? Have they played? Oh, so they still have a boss. All right, they could still like potentially win. I don't know. It's definitely gonna be a close one for sure. I'm gonna have to Arbok and possibly just retreat and hope Farigiraf can carry the back half of the game after putting our opponent at 0 cards in their hand. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what we can do. We definitely want to play Iono this turn and draw 6, get an energy, and put him at 0. I think that's 100% the way to go. I don't really want more Pokemon in play. Let's Bibarel for 3, then Iono, because I don't know if we'll get a better chance later on, and this is perfect. This is great, actually. So we'll throw that energy there. We're not going to shuffle our deck at all. We're just going to Iono. I really, really want to draw into Farigiraf EX and Luminous Energy for next turn. And we don't get it, but we're actually pretty close. And this helps an insane amount right now, because now this can't use Ampy very much. So that's really good for us. How many energy are they down? 3, 4, 5, 8. So 8 electric energy, 1 DT. Oh, 9 electric energy, 1 DT. Okay, so our opponent has played a decent bit of energy. Also, let me, before I forget, we've got dark patches left in the deck, right? Oh, we got a bunch of dark patches left. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to get rid of these. I'll get a dark patch next turn. Not worried about it at all. It's overconfident for sure, but that's cool. That's cool. We rock with that. And we'll get this guy down now. So now... I was hoping they would just have 3 prize cards left, and we get rid of 2 more energy. Oh my god, that's amazing. That's actually so good for us. Because there's a chance we could run our opponent out of just energy and like a whole bunch of playable cards. Oh my god, they just have boss for KO. There's no shot. Wait, they can't use amp. They're down boss though, so they went for a good play. If we didn't get the stadium in play, but it actually saved our life. So I'm just going to play Switch now, going to promote Arbok, and I'm going to draw a whole bunch of cards with Bibarel. I don't want to play Greninja. I really don't want more prize liabilities. And we get a Dark Patch. Actually, we're slowly getting there, and that's okay. I will waste whatever cards I can right now. And we'll swing for the KO on Iron Hands. Now we're only down 2 prize cards, and they don't have the best set up at all to carry the rest of the game. But we have just a mess of a hand. An absolute mess of a hand. And they give us Squawk, which is interesting. If I somehow get Luminous Energy switched, or even just a retreat, and... Oh, they play Iron Bundle. Who would I even give them with Iron Bundle if they use Hyper Blower? I'm not sure, but that's really annoying to see right now. Oh my gosh, we're so close. Do I just put down Radiant Greninja to draw? I don't think so, because they're not going to get Iron Hands in play, and I don't want them to somehow go boss on Bibarel, boss on Greninja, and lose. That would be so devastating. So I think I'm just going to slowly keep setting up this Farigiraf, and... We're in top deck mode too, but that's fine. Like, I like our position. If you take away the prize cards, I like our position better right now than theirs. Because if that card is like unplayable, it's a generator. Okay, that's like the opposite of unplayable. That's really the best card they could have got. And moving cards, no, just 1 energy, right? Oh my gosh. Oh no. Wait, but they're swinging now for 140. Oh, but I have to retreat essentially. Oh, this ain't good. This isn't good at all. They're putting all the energy on Miraidon. Yeah, this is bad, because if I leave Arbok in the active, they'll just take a massive KO for game. So... You know what? Maybe I do... I could just, like, load up the bench. I could load up the whole bench. And then draw a couple cards. Maybe that could pull myself out. I feel like I just have to retreat, but I also need Luminous Energy. Actually, no. Yeah, no. We gotta load up the bench. We gotta full send at this point, so there'll be 4. Yep. It's not an ideal play. I know. I might not be in the best spot because of this, but we're hurt no matter what. And I don't know if they play 2 boss. They might only play 1. And I don't want to rod here if I don't have to. We get boss ourselves. That's actually so big. But no matter who at boss, they could definitely get Iron Thorns back. I feel like I have to retreat this Iron Thorns. Like, I've got no way around it. Oh, I could boss then concealed cards. It's not a bad shot, actually. And just promote Farigiraf. Let's do that, actually. Give me this Raikou here. Then let me concealed cards. This is like a mess of a turn. Oh my god, that generator was like the worst thing they could have got. That don't help us. That doesn't help us much at all. I'm gonna retreat. Go down a lot of energy. I might have to rod just to get back energy. And I'm gonna promote Radiant Greninja because it's only a 1 retreat, which is a bit easier to hit into. Assuming I get Luminous or something like that off Judge. So it's also a 1 prizer. I like that the most. Do I want to... We have 5 energy back? Yeah. Yeah, I do want to rod. I want to rod 3 energy back right now, if rod will work. It doesn't seem like it wants to. Alright, never mind. I currently broke the game by playing rod. I'll never do that again. Yeah, give me my energy back. I'm really gonna need them. And how many Dark Patch have we played? 2. Alright, yeah, that's perfect, because we got 2 Dark Energy left in discard. So, if we get Dark Patches, we could set up a new Arbok, because we might have to. And Nest Ball, no, stop. Stop it. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's weak to Dark Pokemon. It's, oh my god, why do they have to have 2 prize cards left? Why can't it be 3, man? Yo, Amp is a ridiculous attack, because we are fighting for our lives right now. This is rough. This is like really, really rough. And they Hyper Blower. That's fine. I'll just give you an Ekans and figure it out from there. That's cool. Like, you know, whatever we gotta do. Whatever we got to do. You're gonna Nest Ball again. Fine by me. For Greninja, yo, get rid of your energy. You can get rid of all the energy you want. You're already down. So that's 9 energy in discard. That's 13, 14, 15. Yeah, they can't have much energy left. There's no shot. How many generators have they played? Oh my god, wait, they could just take a switch there. Oh my lord. Switching heavy baton. Yo, stop, dog. Yep, and you get rid of League headquarters. That would make sense. Man! Man, this is problematic. Alright, well. This is bad. This is bad news bears. But I think we can make it work. I think we can make it work. So they got 1 prize card left. And I'm going to put our heart and soul on us getting this luminous energy right now for Dirty Beam. This is insane. This is a mess of a game for sure. But we can unfair stamp, so you know, we're chilling. We aight. And I have to unfair stamp now because I need. Yeah, let's do it. Let's unfair stamp now. Put him at a couple cards. That's not totally where I wanted to be. Man. Alright. We could just thin our deck as much. Oh, yeah, no, our deck is totally shuffled. So let's thin everything we can. Because I know it's in here somewhere, right? Yeah, and I'm going to Iono here for sure. I don't want to attach the energy that are in my hand to this Arbok because I'm hoping Iono can just carry us. There's 8 cards. There's literally a 50% chance we draw into this energy. If we do, we're in a great spot. If we don't, I'm gonna cry. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Alright, there's a massive Bibarel. The biggest of Bibarels here. We're not drawing 4, we're drawing 3. So was it the bottom card? No, it wasn't. Okay. That's so big for us. That's so huge for us. We're going to swing for 160, and now Iron Thorns is the only Pokemon that can attack us, but if they use it to attack our active, they would lose because we'll just swing back for KO. And that 30 damage to bench was literally the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life. That's why I didn't complain about doing 150 on Squawk too much. I had that in the back of my mind, I just didn't know how useful it'll be. And they're in a tricky position here. Because if that card isn't Boss and a Stadium out, they're cooked. And it's Arven for Nest Ball, so they're going to be digging deep with Mew. And I think here, Counter Catcher doesn't help them. They need somehow to get this Arbok into the active. And they can't play Boss. They can't play Counter Catcher. They already played Prime Catcher. Did they Hyper Blower? I thought they had a... Wait, did they not? I don't remember. Maybe I'm tripping. Yo. They didn't have it like that. But they were stuck in the active. Easy KO. That's a 4 prize card. We were down 4 prize cards. Came back with Arbok EX. Yo, don't sleep on this deck. This thing is insane. That was an awesome match number 2. Guaranteed positive record and made my night off that. Let's see how we can do in match number 3. Welcome to match number 3, where we open up with a mulligan, and I am riding the high of last 2 games, man. Oh my god, especially that last game, that was a mental. And my god, are we punished after that. Alright, I mean, I'll promote Ekans. We've got an awful, awful hand. This is... I don't even know what could save this, to be honest. Iono, just restart and draw Insane off Iono. And we're going first. Oh no, maybe an energy. It's not totally what I wanted to see. I mean, you know what? We could just put them all down. Maybe they're playing Raging Bull or something like that. You know what? Let me just play Hand Trimmer. Let me see if I can get a sneak peek at what they're playing. I could switch into Greninja, but it's our only draw engine right now. I don't know. If I can see that they're playing something where Farigiraf is like utterly useless, I'll just switch into for Girafarig DX. Like if I see like a Fire Energy and like, you know, Pidgey go and discard, I know they're playing the weirdest Charizard EX list ever because they're playing Radiant Greninja, not Radiant Zard. Penny and an Electric Energy? Oh my god. Is this Miraidon again? Is this like the same guy from last game? It might be. It legitimately might be. So do I just switch into Greninja then? And keep my Ekans? Oh man, I don't know. Nah. If he wants to kill Ekans, he could kill Ekans. I think I'll have to cope and figure it out from there. Hopefully our opponent bricked as bad as we did. I mean, they got 1 card off a mulligan. They just boss Greninja. Alright, so maybe they're hurting. So pass! Oh my god, if we got set up well, that would have been an easy KO. Although, to be fair, I probably wouldn't have even bothered clipping it at that point because, well, we would have just had an awful time as a video. That's like, that would have been the worst video ever. I am, however, going to take, oh my gosh, please, Buddy-Buddy Poffin, Turbo Energize, check, make sure Farigiraf, and Luminous Energy are on the deck. Perfect. I'm going to keep this energy. I am going to play Buddy-Buddy Poffin for another Ekans and Bibarel. I'm not sure what they're playing. I know it's got Electric Energy and Penny. Penny's not normally in Lost Box, so I don't know how scared of it I am right now. And I will Turbo Energize, get 2 energy onto our Arbok here. If that was TM Evolution, that would have been sweet, but I didn't think that card would be super useful in this deck. I am now regretting it. And this is why when I make decks with my friends, I always am like the biggest advocate for not playing Roxanne for literally this situation right here. If this was Judge or Iono, this would have just been infinitely better. Like, I would have been like the definition of chillin'. But it's not, and I'm not behind enough to use it, and this is why I'm like, this card is butts. But I put it in the deck because putting your opponent at 0 cards is just such a fun idea. And it is Miraidon. So they rod 1 energy back. Oh, this better be a research. They better research at the end of this turn. Because rod for 1 energy is crazy, like legitimately criminal behavior. Oh my god. Double generator? Are they going to hit double energy, double generate? Oh, cool. Double gen, double energy. And research. But boss is gone, if that's somehow a plus. Both boss. Looks like it's going to be the same thing as last game, where we are fighting from 4 prize cards. But we have like an otter setup this time. Not Otter the Pokemon, Otter, O-D-D-E-R. I can't believe I just said that. I'm so mad at myself. Actually, don't ever watch any of my videos again. I cannot believe those words came out of my mouth. Yeah, they're up 2 prize cards. I'm just going to act like nothing happened. I don't even know who to promote here. Everything's a mess. It's all a problem. And I almost want to just give them Ekans so when they kill it, I could just Roxanne them. And I actually think I'm going to. If I draw something good, I'll use Switch. Oh gosh, this is a ridiculous setup. Why? Why can't that be something more useful? Let me draw. Let me use Town Store. Well, this is gonna be interesting. I'm curious what they do from here. Maybe it's not the same person somehow, and they're not playing Iron Thorns EX. That's the only thing I'm scared of in Miraidon. I mean, Farigiraf solos if it wasn't for Iron Thorns, and they're probably playing Iron Thorns. If they are, we'll see them take it right now with Miraidon. So, I don't know. I mean, again, we're not out of it. Y'all saw what happened last game when we just went absolutely full send at the end, played every single thing we could every time we got it, essentially, and came back for a massive chip. And maybe we'll do it again. That would be awesome. That would be, like, the coolest thing ever if I could do it twice. That being said, I'm more scared of their setup now than I was last game, because my god, they have so many energy in play. Please whiff. Nope, never. Oh my god, 3 energy. Wait, what? Did they whiff it? Oh, maybe they did. Yeah, they actually whiffed that. Alright, that doesn't fix their maths. I mean, we're still 2-shotting, so, like, that's fine. They will just amp, though, which makes sense. Alright, they're up for parts cards. Time to cry, and they definitely play Prime Catcher, too, so that Bibarel's, like, toast if they play Prime Catcher and not my Miraidon list with Secret Box. They get Luminous now. Everything's a lie. Everything's such a lie. Alright, let's Roxanne them. And that's, you know what? That's actually pretty solid for us. We can attach that energy here. I'm gonna play... Honestly, if our opponent takes another prize card, we might actually just lose. So I think I'm gonna play Unfair Stamp now and just try to draw into something a bit cooler. You know what? I could Buddy-Buddy Poffin. I might as well take another Ekans. Maybe I'll need 2. I don't think loading my bench matters at this point, because if they have like a Prime Catcher KO on Bidoof, I'm cooked. So I might as well just play all the basic Pokemon. You know what? Play all the basic Pokemon. Now I'll just play 1. And then I'll play this other Bidoof, because if I can get 2 Bibarels in play and 2 Arbok in play, we might just be able to bulk our way through. And since 1 Bibarel is a liability enough when our opponent has Iron Hands, like, who cares? So, you know, we will swing for 150 here. Hope our opponent somehow just didn't get Prime Catcher and win. Oh my god, we got rid of Research. That's so big. Because if they get Prime Catcher essentially off this top deck, I mean, they would have used it on this Bidoof anyways, so there's no reason I shouldn't have played those right there. It'll just help me, I think, in the long run, because I could have another good, pretty bulky attacker that they're not going to OHKO, and a bigger draw engine, because I'll have 2 Bibarels instead of 1, so I'm fine with this. And they Miraidon for Miraidon, which tells me they might not have Iron Thorns, and they swing for 160. This is tricky. This is really tricky. Arbok's not a bad card to take here. How many Dark Patch have we seen? 0. How many energy do we have in discard? 1. Alright, so it's going to be next to impossible to get Farigiraf set up this turn. Well, that's Iono. Maybe we can get Greninja. Nope, didn't they kill Greninja? We also didn't even get an energy. They also killed Greninja. And Dark Patch is kind of nice, though. So we can Dark Patch to this guy. And we could switch and just keep our energy. Could choose to fail Buddy-Buddy Poffin too. Our hand is just so dead. But I think I could swing. What are the chances they have a KO? Actually, 1 energy for that Raikou and they would win? Yeah, no, we're not doing that. We're just going to retreat here. There's no way I'm going to try to deal with that. Do I Rod here? Maybe. There's only 2 energy in discard, actually. Nah. Yeah, I'll hold the hand. Yeah, we're also in top deck mode. I'm curious if our opponent is as well. Our opponent has no way to currently attack Farigiraf. They play Vacuum, so they can get rid of Pokemon League headquarters. Okay, that makes like perfect sense. Yeah. And they have Arven. Oh my god, they just get Prime Catcher, don't they? Man. Yeah. That hurts. We couldn't do it twice. We could not do it twice. They took a pretty solid KO on us there. Force Seal Stone, you're not going to play it, are you? Alright, cool. Yeah, I respect it. I mean, that was a good game. We gave it a legitimate go. We went 1-1 against Miraidon, but we had 2 phenomenal games, and I think it just... You know, maybe seeing this, someone could see a different thing to put in the deck. Maybe because of this game, we just take out Roxanne altogether. I think if we had any other supporter, we were about to cook this Miraidon deck, which would have been super nice. But, hey, 2-1 with Arbok, and games like that, and even that last game was pretty fun. I mean, I think if we somehow lived that turn, I actually really liked where we were standing going forward. So, you know, that was definitely a hard game for sure. You know, tough loss on a super hot streak like those first 2 games, but it's cool. I mean, that deck was a ton of fun to play. I highly recommend it. And again, I know I've said this in the past videos, or probably, honestly, all my videos, but seriously, thank you guys so much for the support. If you've made it this far in the video, yo, bless your soul. That's it. I mean, I hope if you made it this far in the video, you have the best day, because this video will be going up at like 7 or 7:30 in the morning, and not 10 at night right now when I'm recording it. So I hope you have a blessed and great day. Stay epic. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.